How's it going, everybody? So today I'm gonna kind of show you how to break and repair a chain. I got one that I need to repair, so I figured I would do kind of an overview of what all goes into it and how simple it really is. And I know I had to shave it all off because I had to go to a facility where I had to wear a face mask, and I feel really weird, and I know I look really weird without a beard, but that's life sometimes, right? So this is my setup here. Try not to make you sick. So these are the Tecomec breaker and spinner that come in the kit for $100. It's got the adjustable anvil, and it comes with two punches, two different size punches, one for the smaller chains and one for the larger chains. This also comes with a larger spinner, so you can swap those out if you need to. But I'm gonna break this chain here. I've already broken it and repaired it, because this is the chain that in that chain sharpening video where I had to repair and insert this strip right here in of the different type of chain. But what happened is, you can see right there, is I spun this in upside down, and I don't want it to damage my tip of my sprocket, so I'm gonna break it loose and redo it. Hope you can see that. Alright, well, I'm gonna sit you over here and we'll get to it. Pretty sure you'll be able to see everything that's going on from there. Alright, so here's the adjustable anvil. You can bolt it down. I don't, because I can just lean on it and get it to bust off for me. So here's when you're breaking chain, you want the cutter, whatever cutter you're breaking, to be in the anvil like this. Cutter down is how you want it. So in this case, I'm not breaking the cutter link, so you center the rivet and make sure that you're as center as you could possibly be, because that makes the process, or that makes the break cleaner. And depending on how clean the break is, you can damage adjacent links, so just be aware of that. There's one, and that's what it looks like. So that's one rivet popped. Gonna pop the other one. You know what? I'm thinking maybe that cut right there, that milled out spot, is for the cutter teeth. I bet that's what that's for. Alright, time to pop the other side. Get that right in there. There it goes. You know, I probably should have I'm wearing safety glasses on my head, right? Probably should have put them on, you know? Alright. So it's broken. So I'm gonna go over here and get my, they're called preset tie straps, and you can get them eBay, wherever. These are steel here. And these are Oregon, and I think my loose tie straps in here are Oregon, and I think my presets are aftermarket. But they'll work fine together. I have found that on steel chain, for the most part, you can mix and match all these, as long as it's Carlton and Oregon. The steel, the Oregon links and the steel chain don't fit very well. I found that out last time I tried to do it by experience. I ended up busting it back out and just keeping it split because I didn't like the way it articulated. Like this milled hole here in the driver is just ever so slightly larger than the steel one. So whenever you insert an Oregon preset into the steel driver and start spinning the rivet, it causes the rivet to bind sooner before the rivet is actually set. So I don't advise mixing Oregon straps with steel chain. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but it's not something I would advise. So this is your preset tie strap here. It's already got the rivets on one side. And this is your regular tie strap. So what we do, set our chain up under here and put your two sides up here, and you want your anvil out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm spinning. You got to put your unspun side to your spinner. So depending on, because you can spin it either way, you know, I got it running this way. I could flip it around and spin it that way. Just so long as your presets unspun side is to the handle spinner side. So you slip that in, slip it in over here, set your little supports up so it centers the chain in here, and slip your preset over the unspun sides, and then pull it back to in between your anvil, and then I just run it up kind of snug is what I do, and then squeeze the presets together. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start one side and then go to the other side, spin it, and then come back and spin this side. So how I normally do it is I'm not sure what you would call this. I'm going to call it my anvil because that's what I'm pushing against, and this is my spinner. So my anvil handle is straight down, so I'm going to do a quarter turn, quarter to you know, not quite half, but in between half and a quarter. I'm not good with fractions, but I'm going to do that until this side won't come loose, and then I'll spin this side down to the exact same. I'll spin this side down to where this handle is vertical, and then I'll do another almost half spin and it should be spun up. Show you what that looks like. So I spun it up to where this stays on. It's not going to come loose, right? So I'm going to use the same amount of pressure and spin this side up to the exact same stage that this is at. And then I'm going to go ahead and spin this one all the way down and then come back and spin that one down. Alright, so and then I'm going to let loose on that, and I'm going to look at it. Okay, see where I'm at. Set back up. Now I have found spinning the other ones that I can spin this all the way down to almost down here to where it's almost vertical again, and that should seat the rivet head. Now, it's going to look very awkward because you have to do it fast. I mean, you can do it slow, but I find that the results aren't as good if you don't spin really fast whenever you apply pressure. So, I always go up to here and then finish out quick. Check it, and what you're checking for is whether or not you can catch. Since you can catch, you want that to be as flush as possible, like the other rivets, or as close to the other rivets as you can get it. And always check to make sure you can articulate. Okay, this rivet's finished. And you know it's finished because you can't really hang a nail on it. I mean, I can hang the screwdriver on it, but it would be difficult to hang a nail on, and you can start to see the rivet cracking around the edges, and that's normal. That means it's spun up about as good as you can get. I don't know what kind of spinner they use in the factory to spin these things up, but to my knowledge, I've never seen a spinner that's that good. So, alright, so let's go down just a little bit more. Just a tweak. There we go. And you can see where that one smashed all the way in, and that spinner was actually contacting the drive link, but it articulates like it should. Everything looks good. So that chain's ready to rock again. And you can get into You know, repairing your own chain's pretty cheap. What I do is, instead of buying like a reel or something like that, and if you wanted to save money and buy a reel, you know, like a 100-foot reel or a 25-foot reel or whatever, you know, you would be able to put together your own chains. It's cheaper. But as far as repairing my chains, I just get a bunch of, you know, 20-inch loops or whatever. They're really cheap, especially when you find them on sale, and then break them. And I'll have, with those broken loops, you know, everything I need. You can bust out drivers if you need drive links, cutters if you need cutters. I recommend, though, on the cutters to grind off the rivet heads before you punch them, because you can bend the cutters. Just like I bent, I guess I tossed it, but just like I bent the drive link breaking this chain. So you can minimize that by grinding your rivets off before you punch them. So I wanted to go over that, especially after I talked about it in my sharpening video, and I didn't, you know, I didn't say anything other than I had to, you know, replace a section of chain because the drive links were messed up. But hope this helps. I know there's a few videos floating around about chain spinning and stuff, but I'm hoping I went a little more in depth into it. So y'all have a good one. Stay safe.